and the product team did an awesome job here at Inside Real Estate of revamping the campaigns feature inside of kvCORE. So, you know, the campaigns feature inside of kvCORE does do a lot of cool things, very cool things, but somewhat up till now has been somewhat clunky because you had to kind of click into different windows, and it's kind of like Kafka's Castle. You kind of get a little disoriented a bit trying to use the thing. But now, and hopefully you guys can see my screen. Just want to make sure you can. Yeah, you should be able to. Now there's a new improved flow, and I'm just going to kind of jump right in and show it to you. I haven't played a lot with it, so maybe we'll learn a few things about it together, but let's just go in here to marketing, and we'll go to Smart Campaigns. So here we are in Smart Campaigns, and this page looks the same. And I actually messaged Xander, the product guy who's been working on it, said, hey, when's it going to be released? He's like, it's in there. And I said, oh, what do you mean? I didn't notice. And what I needed to do was I needed to click into a campaign to start to experience the new improved magic that's going on here. So when I click into a campaign, you can see up top, we're going to have some of these things. I think they used to be over here. Or maybe they used to be over on the right? Some of the main settings for the campaign. So I think that's an improvement because it used to be over on the right, and it was kind of like in a column where it was a little bit buried and it was a little disorienting to figure out the settings. Now they're kind of just ready to go right here, as well as this clone campaign and the campaign active stuff is up top. But the really, really exciting part for my money is this. So I'm in an existing campaign, and if I want to change something, watch this. You're all going to lose your minds. I click edit. Woo, look at that. So what I can do now is in line, when I click edit, I can change up the text. Woo, or I can add a new advanced email template right in line like this, right inside of the campaign flow. So if I want to replace what's there and make a new advanced template or just edit what's already there, it's super easy to do. And then what you can do, you'll notice up top, if I change it, I would want to kind of like save over it, right? So I would give the name, you know, a new name for this template, and then I can kind of create new ones on the fly. So very, very, very cool in my opinion. You can see these are all emails in this 1-year campaign. I can go here and I can change the text. Also notice it says to add a merge tag type. Remember, you can type this little thing and it brings up the merges when you're doing texts. You can see over on the right, the action settings, it's all in line, right? So I'm doing the content on the left, and then I can change up when this event happens in the course of the campaign over on the right side, which is very, very exciting. Let me add a new action because I don't have in this particular campaign a lot of different things. So let's just see. Let's pretend that we were adding hashtags as a step. So let's just say I was going to add nurture. Use my new construction tag. And I would run that after 3 minutes in this campaign. Add new construction tag. You know, you used to have to go to a separate page, guys. And for those of you who are new to kvCORE, you might not really grasp what I'm talking about, but you used to have to click out of here and go back and then find the templates section and then kind of come back to that and remember where you were at. And it was a little bit dizzying, not impossible. And once you got the hang of it, it wasn't, you know, super crazy hard, but this just saves a lot of time. And I think will stop you from breaking momentum when you're kind of in a creative flow and you're building out these campaigns. You're able to do them a lot quicker now. So here I can just kind of click edit here and edit the hashtag, you know, so it's all happening. If you've noticed, I don't think I've moved out of this particular URL one time. I've stayed in line inside of this site. And then if I want to add new stuff, I just go over here, add action, add another email. I don't have to go to a templates page. Here's my new email. Oh yeah, I'm getting excited here. You can hear it. So let me cancel. And that's it. And you know, I wish there was more to this, but it's sometimes the simplest, you know, most efficient things. It's a very elegant and easy to use. I can tell you that I know the team put a lot of hours into this because undoing the old clunkiness was a bit of a chore. But what they've come up with here is something that's very intuitive, very easy to use, and I'm very happy about it. So Jeannie, it's already live. You just go into your campaign. She's asking if is this really happening? Yeah, it's live. Or you're kind of just saying, oh, wow, yes, it's really happening. It's for real. So go in, you can play with your campaigns. I don't have much more to say about this. I do believe that the feature that allows you to share campaigns is still in there. So that still exists over here, which makes sense because it's on the main campaigns menu. You click this little thing over on the right here, and that's where you can do your campaign sharing and tokens. But it'll be a lot easier for you now to build a campaign that maybe your whole team wants to use. So Nancy's asking, where is the recordings for this? We usually put them up at the YouTube channel, insiderealestate.com/YouTube. And actually, did I hit the record? Yeah, I did. I was having trouble streaming to YouTube. We usually stream these in real time, but you'll be able to find the recording and share it with your team. We'll also have it on Facebook as well. So Raphael is asking, what are we talking about? New campaigns. The interface that I've been kind of teasing is live. So if you go into a campaign, you can now edit in line and change everything up in line. So very exciting. So I don't have much more than that today, guys. I thought it might take me a little more, but like I said, sometimes the best things are just simple and easy. And I think this is probably one of the biggest hurdles for a lot of people when using kvCORE was sort of just the overall confusion around how campaigns were created. And I think that confusion is gone because all you need to do is come in here, grab a campaign and go. Let's take a look at a kvCORE library campaign because that experience was always a little rough. So let me just pull in like an add to my library campaign and let's just look at how that looks. So add to my library. Okay, now it's in my campaign. So you get this little toaster thing on the bottom left, they call those. And then I go back to my campaigns and it'll be in there. Might be on page 2 because I have a lot of demos in here. But I grab one of the open house campaigns that I just pulled in. And again, I don't need to go through a bunch of jibba jabba, as Mr. T would say. It's all here and ready for me to edit. So Jeannie's asking for one more example. So this is kind of it, so you just go to the campaign. And if you want to add new actions, you go up to the top right and you add the things you want to do. So if I want to add a new text, hey, it's a new text. I'll just name it new text. Okay. And then I might need to give it a name over here, new text, who's it from agent to contact, run immediately and save. But I don't need to jump out and go do all that templating stuff we used to need to do. It's just there and ready to use. And I can edit all the settings. So Jeannie's saying, use templates only if you want to use the SMS in multiple emails. Yeah, you notice that all of these are templates. So if you are building another campaign and maybe you want to use an email that you've used in another campaign, you'll be able to just search it from the drop down here and pull it right in. So if I pull one of the existing templates, you see it just kind of brings it in. And I do this a lot. I have my conversation starting campaign where I have this like house offer for a house valuation on like day 4 or 5. And I'll use that same email in different little short campaigns. So now I know I can just come in here and I think it's like, do you own a house or something? I don't know. I have to remember the name of the template. Something like that. But if you know the template, you can pull it in quickly. But yeah, to your point, it would be just as easy to just type it fresh or to copy and paste it from another one. So, so here's how we get to the campaigns, Nancy. You go to marketing right here. It's under our marketing section. It's in the drop down actually. So you can grab it right from the navigation right here, or you can go over to one of the blocks in the middle of the page here and just go to the smart campaigns. And then the library stuff on the main campaigns page, if you want to pull stuff in, it's up here. But if you just want to go to your My Campaigns right here and just start adding a new campaign, it's fairly simple to do. You go through the flow of adding the campaign, goes in there, and then adding activities to it is very easy. You just start adding actions right here. So very, very exciting. I'm just looking through the questions. Okay, so I'm going to get into other Q&A. I'll get to yours, Miriam. Jeannie's asking where the list of hashtags are just related to this, in case you forget. That's also under marketing. And there's a hashtag management option. So all of your existing hashtags can be found in there. Or you can just add new ones on the fly. So you can see I have a list of mine right here, and you can edit and change them from here. Yep. So unrelated, there's a question from Miriam about changing the YouTube presentation that's in the background of your kvCORE site. So if you go to my site, I think we mentioned this last week too, maybe when we were talking about the YouTube stuff. Just a reminder, we did do a 3-part series about YouTube that you can find on the Inside Real Estate channel. But you can see in my background, I have this video. And the way to change that video, if you don't like it, is to go into Web and IDX right here. And then go to your website settings. So you can go to edit settings right here or up at the top right. And then I believe if you click template, we learned this last week. If you click template on the left, it'll just kind of jump you down to where that is. I somehow just clicked totally out of Web and IDX. I have no idea how I did that on my browser. If you click template, I think the flyout must have came out. And then right here is your background video YouTube ID. So if you want to get rid of it for now, Miriam, just delete this and click save. And what it'll do is it'll fall back to the images that you have up top, the background images. That's the quickest way to just get rid of it. And of course, you can change it out for another YouTube video if you want. But if you're just trying to remove it for now, just use one of the background images right here, or upload your own if you want. So any other questions? Raphael, I was thinking maybe tomorrow we do the stuff on graphics and give me some time to prepare for that. I just definitely wanted to get the campaign stuff rolling today. So any other questions related to kvCORE, to campaigns in general? While I wait, Mark's asking, did you record your videos? The ones for the background? No. Just grab that right off YouTube. Just did a search on YouTube. Or I think I did St. Pete, Florida aerial. Is that what you're referring to, or were you referring to the campaigns? Yeah, and you just go ahead, I'll just grab this one, and then I grab the ID of the video out of the browser up top here. And you can make that your background. So yeah, you don't need to. I just found this one that's pretty good. The reason there's no licensing issues, Jeannie, is this is just a shareable video on YouTube. So when the person uploaded it to YouTube and they made it a public video, all we're doing on the site is we're embedding the video. So if there's any issues with licensing or any of the assets inside, it's on the video creator who made it publicly available on YouTube. Yeah, it's like anything on YouTube. They're saying, hey, this is publicly available to be embedded. So all you're doing is embedding this on your site. YouTube is fine with that. So you're not going to have issues. Now, some of your competitors might not understand it. So I'd stay away from using a competitor's video. But if you're, this is just a tour of St. Pete, I'm not too worried about whoever made this being upset with me. And if they do, I'll just say, hey, it's just an embedded video from YouTube. I'm like, and if you look and if you watch this long enough, I believe whoever created it kind of like their URLs like scroll through, so they're getting some free promotion, which is why everybody uses YouTube anyway. So you should be fine. Okay. Okay, so Tom's saying he doesn't seem to have that. Tom, drop me your URL. Now, there may be some kvCORE users, like if you're a white label, maybe with Weichert or LP Sphere, my Weichert, it's possible that your brokerage has disabled some of those features because they want to keep the brand consistency on your site. So you might want to talk to them. I would assume that's why you're not able to have your photo and customize that. And for those of you who are worried about that, just remember, I mean, this is kind of cool and novel, but most people don't get here. And if they do, it's briefly. Most of them, when they get here, they're going to be on mobile. And on mobile, it doesn't actually autoplay to keep the bandwidth, to make the site load fast on mobile. And then if somebody does visit your homepage, it's a very quick scroll through. So I wouldn't, yeah. Well, Mark's saying this video makes people want to move here. Well, I mean, it is pretty much the best place in the country to live. So, a little bias here, but it's awesome. So any video of this place is going to make you want to live here. But thanks, Mark. But yeah, I get your point. It is a cool thing to have on the site, but don't stress. I mean, it's not like you're getting tons of traffic to your homepage, and I wouldn't recommend driving tons of traffic to your homepage. You're better off driving traffic to landing pages and to squeeze links, because they have a better chance of converting to a lead more directly. But from a branding perspective, this is fun for sure. Question from Sam: how do we make hashtags added to new contacts that come in automatically? So if they're shared, I'm just trying to understand the question. If you have a link to a listing and you share it, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to use the squeeze builder to build those links. So if you go to Lead Engine and you go to IDX squeeze page right here, you can build multi-property links, single property links, a seller squeeze link, and a market report link. And then when you build those links, that's when you're going to add the hashtag so it automatically comes in. So if I'm doing a multi-property, I'll use my draw here. Just do downtown St. Pete real quick. Apply selection. Maybe I'm doing, let's do, well, we don't have horse properties. Let's do houses with pools under 500K. So let's do houses with pools in St. Pete under 500K. And then here's where I'd add my hashtag, St. Pete pools U500K, right? Something like that. I give it a hashtag, I generate my link. And then when I share this link and anybody becomes a lead from it, then I will get, that hashtag will be automatically added to the contact. Hopefully that answered what you were asking. So you can see, and I am so surprised. Is that true? Is it possible there's 300 active listings? I did something wrong. 365 listings with pools. Oh, under 500K, yeah, condos. What's going on? So I would want to have chosen property type here. Listing type would have been single family. That makes sense because every condo is going to have one. So yeah, that's how you do it. You build a squeeze link. And then when you share it on Facebook. Oh, okay. So you're saying you shared it from the listing tab, not from the lead engine. Let's see what that experience is like. I think you can still append one, but let's see. More actions. It's possible that you do need to. I go into the listing like this, and then more actions. Post to Facebook. I want to see what that does. And I'm gonna just click through this. I want to see if it automatically adds a hashtag for you or not. So I'm kind of just posting it to my Facebook real quick. We got some celebrating in the Facebook group. I'm just noticing about the new campaigns feature. Actually, if I click here, it'll probably just bring me to it. Oh, that's very interesting. I'll suggest to the team that, yeah, this should have a add HT equals. You don't have a hashtag on it. It's kind of not built in. So even if the hashtag was just a listing ID, just so you knew, it's a good point. Now, just the shortcut, you can do and add HT equals. There's some shortcuts for hashtags Annalisa has a big document about that somewhere that I'll have to try to dig up here in a minute. But the easiest way, just to make sure, is to do what I just did. You know, if you know you want to track it, just go to the build squeeze and build a link for the listing and, you know, add it. Raphael's asking, how did you add the video ask thing to your homepage? This thing with me talking here. So video ask, we talked about that a few weeks ago. We did a whole session. But the way I actually got the embed code in was in the same section here for Web and IDX, where we were doing the background. If I go to edit settings and I scroll down about a third of the way, it's in this section, the custom header, custom body, or custom footer. I think VOS says to put it in the body, so I put it in the body. And you can see the embed code is right here that video ask gave me. So that's how. Can you guys hear a 10-year-old playing Gorilla Tag in the background? If it's distracting, let me know. I'll go smack him down. Not actually smack him down, you know, figuratively. Video ask, Sam, we did a session. It's like a survey form thing based on video. Like, it allows you to survey your users. So this thing on my site, if they click, I can play a video and then tell people to do various things. So this is kind of like an engagement tool. It's an extra thing. It's not the cheapest, honestly, but I use it in another business, so I just use that same account and threw it on my real estate site. But yeah, it's pretty cool. For this particular survey, Kelso, it's just videoask.com is where I built it. Just a third-party tool. And then the session for that was about a month or two ago now. So if I go to insiderealestate.com/webinars, I kind of walk through the whole thing. Let's see. It is adding third-party overlays and scripts from March 30th. So almost 2 months ago. Hey, Gorilla Tag boy. Hey. Hey, let's be quiet, okay? Thank you. All right. So yeah, and then here's the link. I'll drop it in Zoom. All right. You're so mean. Yeah, now I don't know why. He must have heard me talking about it, and he was 2 rooms over yelling, and now he's standing directly behind me. Charlie. All right, but at least he's whispering. You guys can't hear him. He's trolling me. All right. Let me see. Just looking for any other questions here. I'll share. Yeah, I definitely have time, Christina. So Christina's asking if there's time to go over adding of a smart number. For sure. Do you mean adding a new number or adding a code for a smart number? Or the reason why? You might want to do that. So if we go to Lead Engine and we go to call and text capture, everybody here has a number called the smart number that comes with the system. And from that number, you can add unlimited text codes, custom text codes right here that when somebody texts it, you reply back with specific info. So just an example, like I configured this one and it replies back, and then you can be in conversation, you can append a hashtag and all that. So you can build as many of those as you want. The issue with smart numbers, and where there's a little bit of confusion, is that if one of your leads calls the actual number and that lead is not in the system as one of your contacts. So say you're working with somebody and you've got their cell number, they're in kvCORE, they're in the CRM, great, but they're at work and they're calling you on their work hour from their work line. Well, the system doesn't know who that person is. They're just calling from the work line. So what it'll do is it'll rotate that call throughout your whole office, or it'll obey whatever rules your broker sets. Sometimes the brokers set that to forward to like one number, like the main office number or something. So whatever rules the broker set, but you're not sure that that lead is going to come to you. And that's no fault of the system. The system just doesn't recognize that number and know who that person is. So one of the big reasons why you would get a smart number is to know that anybody who calls that number goes directly to you, no matter what. So you're basically adding your own number to the kvCORE system outside of all the agents, that one number that's shared by all the other agents. And then of course you can add your own codes and stuff like that too. So I hope that's a good explanation. So that's the why. And then the how is kind of like you click add new, pretty straightforward. You know, my custom code is become an agent. I'm doing some recruiting or something, right? And in my messages, sure, here's the link to that video. That's how to become a real estate agent. So you put your custom text behind. You can also just put an MLS ID in and it'll give the property info. So I hope, Christina, that covers the question. That's kind of like my 2-minute spiel on how smart numbers work and why you might want to get your own number. And if you're advertising it heavily, you know, probably the biggest reason I could see doing this is if you're using the smart number on sign riders. And not only is this the biggest reason why I would want my own number, it's also probably the biggest missed opportunity. One of the biggest ones that I see among kvCORE users is that they don't put a text response code on the sign rider. Because think about it. I'm walking my dogs every morning. I'm curious about the neighbor's house, right? How much they're asking. And if I see a text code so that I can get that, I'm basically going to give that agent my cell number, because when I text in, you get the cell number. And that's either a listing lead for later or an opportunity to create a conversation with a neighbor, right? But think about it. Some people are not going to pull out the phone and text. They're just going to call off the sign rider, the number, which makes total sense too. Many people are older school, or they just, you know, don't feel like texting. They're just going to call you. And in that case, that lead might route. Even though you're the listing agent, the system does not know that that call is coming from your sign. So so big reasons, if you're advertising your smart number heavily anywhere on sign riders or in digital advertising anywhere on your business cards, then you might want your own. Okay. Yeah, no problem. I was just trying to be thorough on that. Sam's asking for more HTML style emails, can we add exterior campaigns or create similar to MailChimp? Yeah, very good question. Going back to the email editor here, to the smart campaigns. Let's just go into our existing buyer nurture campaign that I was in before. And let's say I want to edit an existing email or add a new one. You have this option over here. It says new advanced template. So I'll actually just add a new one so that I don't mess up what's there. And you can click advanced. It's either for an existing, you'll hit new advanced template, or if you're adding a new one, you see the advanced editor, this blue button off to the side. And when you do that, then you can get your MailChimp type experience going. So I can start to drag over the content blocks and do sophisticated HTML. Another really cool thing about the advanced editor, of course, is Core Video, is the integration with Core Video. So I can drop a Core Video in here and just grab one of my existing Core Videos or record a new one on the fly and include it in the email. It's just taking a second to load those up. So it's a little bit wonky when I have Zoom going. I think it's like my computer doesn't know if the camera's in use, so it might not load for me here. But ordinarily, this would show all your videos in order, and then you could pop them directly into the email. And then you have all the other stuff you'd get at a MailChimp, you know, like the ability to put images and other stuff in there. Yeah, I think this is just my environment being a little wonky today. But going back, you can see over on the right side, you have some options, and you could do like rows and columns and things like that. Make a nice looking marketing email. Okay. All right, not seeing many other questions. I would definitely say, guys, play with the new campaigns feature. It's kind of a game changer for making kvCORE, I think, a lot more user friendly, because it's in my mind, it's like the biggest thing we're all going to go use when we think about a CRM and marketing automation. We're going to go right to that campaigns area, and we're going to say, hey, how can we save ourselves time by automatically sending communications to our new leads? And this just kind of eliminates a lot of the clutter and a little bit of the frustration around that. And I think it's pretty easy to use at this point. Really, really exciting stuff. And again, just to round it out, you do have the ability to create campaigns and share them with your team or people at their companies by clicking this little share icon up at the top and putting campaign tokens in. And then once you pull that campaign in, then you can edit that stuff, right? So I have my buyer 1 year nurture campaign. I think this is in a kvCORE library, but just to share that kind of experience, you can see up at the top right, if I click unshare, you have the ability to click share on any of your campaigns. And I click yes. What you doing, kvCORE? There we go. And now my sharing token is over here. That's a little UI thing. That should be down over here or up here, because you see they're like in 2 different spots, and it took me a minute to find them. But my sharing token is right here. So I can share this with you guys. If you guys want to practice this, I'm going to share it to you guys watching Zoom live, and I'll pop it into the Facebook group because I know we're streaming in there. And then what you can do is you can come to the main campaigns page with that token, and you can click this little green thing and pop it in. And part of the reason why I'm doing this demo now is, once you pull it into your account, it used to be that you'd have to go through a little bit of pain to kind of edit the things that I've written in this campaign. You might not like the way I phrase things, or you might not find one of these messages to be appropriate. Well, now, instead of going back and finding the template and doing like 18 clicks, you just go and you click edit and you change it up like this to make it sound more like you. So I think it's a really big deal. It's a pretty big game changer for kvCORE. Okay. All right, guys, I'm not seeing any other questions for the Q&A section. Just wanted to make sure we got this campaign stuff done. We've got a really robust campaigns system here at kvCORE. I mean, I am aware of what some of the competitors are doing. Some of them have very nice UIs. Some of them, are doing a bunch of things, but I can't really think of too many things you can't do with kvCORE's campaigns from a marketing automation perspective. One thing that's missing here, probably because I don't have the campaign, the feature active, is the ability to send voicemail drops. So if I was subscribed to that service from the marketplace, I could even add a voicemail drop. I can make kvCORE talk to things like thanks.io and third-party systems via Zapier, and I can shoot webhooks out. I can change the status of a prospect. I can add hashtags in line. Of course, I can send text and emails. So really robust stuff, and it's a lot easier to use now. So in the absence of any further questions, I might just say, hey, this is a nice tidy 33-minute session and let you guys go. Tomorrow, I'm going to have Raphael on as a guest. We're going to mess around with some graphics stuff using Google Draw and maybe some other things related to just kind of like basic web marketing and making images without kind of wasting time in my kind of hacky way. That was a request we had last week, and I just figured we'd do a session about it. We might not spend a ton of time in kvCORE tomorrow, but it'll be a little bit of a web marketing smorgasbord of sorts. All right, so thanks a lot, guys. How do we copy that code? Oh, you can't copy it, right? What a bummer. Out of Zoom? Here. Oh, that's so silly. I always forget that you can't do that. Here's what I'm going to do, guys. I put it in the Facebook comments. So here's a direct link to the Facebook group comment. For those of you who are watching on Zoom, you can click through to that, and then you'll go to the share code for that campaign. I don't know why Zoom does that. It's ugh. But if you do that and click that link now, for those of you watching live, you'll be over there. And if you do, give it a like in Facebook, get a little more virality. This is something we do want all kvCORE users to know about. So definitely do if you can. Just let your team know that this feature has been updated. We really appreciate it. And I'll see everybody tomorrow at the same time for some fun, wacky graphic stuff with Raphael. All right, see you later, everybody. Thanks, Mark.